Here we go, AKAPADers. Welcome back to the channel. Right here, right now, we're talking Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax, CM Punk, the crossover, the big Marvel event, the big publicity, we have a celebrity writing our book that you forgot about. With all that said, thank you for joining me. Welcome back to the channel. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad69, and known throughout Philadelphia, which is this way, and the multiverse. The eclectic one, that's right. We're eclectic here. We do things. I even do stuff like, upcoming on my Instagram. We're doing Flaming Hot Chips. Just a live discussion review. A lot of you found me through Insta. I like to cross-platform my content as much as possible, and I like to do things per platform that I don't do on other ones. We do chip reviews there. So coming up, previously we did what I consider a perfect 3-issue run, or a perfect run. The 1990 Star-Lord, the non-Quill Star-Lord, original Star-Lord. The backstory for this is phenomenal. Check that video out. Previously, we did the very, very first appearance of GOTG. And upcoming, I've been teasing it for a while. We had the 4-issue Rocket Raccoon miniseries. You guys, classic cover right there. And then, to really wrap it up, what I consider, well, actually, geez, we have another one here, the formation of the current iteration of GOTG. But what I really consider to be the greatest of all the Guardian runs is the 1990 Jim Valentino. This is the year 31,000, I believe. Yeah, 31st century. I love this series. It's pure comic book. But let's get into it right here, guys. This is it. I mean, I just want to show it all. We gotta get into it. The problems with this Drax, okay, is it's like a crossroads of celebrities, the comic book industry desperate for validation, desperate for attention. A lot of these things are just flat out bad and evil when it comes from a publishing standpoint. You have to stand by your characters. You have to stand by the years and years of creation that it takes for some of these characters to arrive to a point that they can either be adapted, taken over by other creative teams, but to really kind of like what the bullet points of the characters are. This takes a long time. Like, let's not forget, Drax his first appearance, Iron Man 55, and it really wasn't until the GOTG movie that we got a version that people just seemed to like, and that really is James Gunn, that really is Batista. And not to take anything away from that movie, because I do feel like, I mean, again, I'm talking to you from my production desk, and I have a Milano right here. Like, not to take anything away from those efforts, but what we have here, I mean, what we have here, this is issue 3, by the way. It's a comic book industry that is so desperate. It's a Marvel Comics desperate for any type of validation, and they're opening up the gates. And as the years went on, comic books opened up more and more gates to individuals like CM Punk. I don't like the idea that someone like Keanu Reeves can come in and did what he did on crowdfunding. I don't like the idea. I mean, if you guys really want to go into the history books, there was a company called Virgin Records, right? Virgin Comics, which Hugh Jackman, I believe Hugh Jackman, John Woo, Jenna Jameson, all had stories and books by them. And not taking away the quality of any of those books, but it's just the idea that we're doing comics to pitch movies, and that's exactly how this comes off. It is just a movie pitch. It's a bid to let me do something bigger with Drax. Maybe we can do a Drax cartoon. Maybe we can do a Drax video game. If Drax needs banter and to sound like an idiot, and we're going to just fill up a book with LOL humor, let me CM Punk write it. And that's really what this book is. It's a bad. I mean, with my 925. We would kind of label this as a really poor capability statement, and we would kind of just move on and, thank the person for submitting it or pitching it, and then just kind of like, get on with it. Capability statements are very big in IT because you have to establish a lineage of thought, philosophy, methodology. Looking at a comic book publishing catalog, I don't think it's much different at all. With all of that being said, let's have a look at the CM Punk Drax, aka Patters. Let's clear some of this off from my previous video. Bern Hogarth, seemed to light things on fire there. Let's just get into it. I like walking around with a stack of books. We got three more big Guardian drops coming, so be on the lookout. People, it may not be killing it at the box office, but I've said this before, this is why I like doing like a consciousness content drop around some of these movies, because it gives us a reason to get into this stuff. And if it wasn't for Guardians of the Galaxy coming into the theaters, I would never have bought these. My local comic shop had these in their dollar bin, and I didn't realize that. Like, tell me how good of a deal this is, though. This retail for $3, and you got issues 1 through 3. And we kind of know how I appreciate the original presentation of some of these books. So I bought issue 3 twice, essentially, because issue 3's in here. But I do like, again, like how books are presented. With that being said, let's get into it. So we have what you would just say, hey, let's just insert things. And, we have a nice alien attack here. We have Groot. We have the Thing. And we're just, again, we have banter. We have Rocket saying, there's one right behind me, isn't there? LOL. And then we have Drax being Drax. And then we have a tough drawn Rocket face here. The artist is fully capable. Scott Hepburn, he is awesome. He's amazing. I love his line work. I like his proportions. But his Rocket's not quite there. But his Drax is. He's actually a solid Drax artist. Shouldn't be a problem, and Drax just kills more aliens, crunches their head. Great Thing face here. But as you guys can see, nothing serious. This book's a joke. Well drawn. We have the Thing. We have Agent Venom, and everyone's like walking off. And then Agent Venom. I'm just saying, trying to commune with a symbiote, and Ben Grimm is hard enough. 4 is a crowd. And then Drax is like, guess I'll go kill Thanos. LOL. So we're minimizing the importance of the characters. We're diminishing their power sets. And we're already doing things that just doesn't seem interesting and fun. And the jokes are not quite there. So Drax is like, I'm going to go fly off. Rocket's like, here's a rocket ship. And Drax is like, it has rust. Same difference, right? Look, I know it doesn't look like much, but this baby is more than space worthy. I'll get you where you want to go. And moving on. So Drax has a clunker. He flies a clunker. He's just like, if only Death knew where to find you. Death, I'm coming for you. Okay. So apparently CM Punk has only watched the Guardians movie, and he legit only believes that Drax is such a one-dimensional character as he's portrayed in GOTG1. He can't be nuanced and doesn't have 40 years of comic book history behind the point that we're seeing him right here. But he's trying to find Thanos. Bring it on. Has a little bit of a runs into some guys. They space fight. Keep in mind the expressions, the design work here, it's all legit. I love how like we were drawing the forearms here. Like I said, big chunky lines, really cool stuff. But essentially, you know, Drax crash lands and he crash lands and walks along a desert. Again, great design work here, great coloring. And he comes across more aliens and gets into a bar, and he has like a moment with a girl bartender. That's she's cool, blah 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 blah. And then we have the biggest travesty of all of this. See, CM Punk apparently is I only know Drax from the movie, and then I'm going to throw in Thrax, and Thrax, I mean, it's a John Byrne guy here. And Drax is just portrayed as, I mean, great proportions here. Thrax is just portrayed as a joke. Okay? Barkeep, 2 more, because they're drinking, LOL. Throws his, his coveted axe down, and they start drinking, okay? And then she's like, how are you guys going to pay? So, we keep going. Drax is looking for some components. The barkeep's like, look, I have this whole mechanical facility here. We have a big giant garage, and you know, Drax is he's passive. He kind of makes jokes that he can bang her for parts, and she just like always like blows him off. You know, we kind of see some of that here. But again, this is what I mean by great design work. This guy has what's his name again? Scott Hepburn. I keep wanting to say Audrey Hepburn, but Scott Hepburn. He subtracts the backgrounds to go negative, and then he simplifies the backgrounds because, like, again, see these shadows and see these window sills right here. It's detailed, but it's not, and it's economical to get the page done and to move on. Even like the hanging chain here, again, he's putting us in the environment. Very well done. Again, great use of blacks. Moving around, Thrax needs to hug Drax. Whatever. We have a I'm going to throw you joke. And then we have the 2 of them fighting. They beat up a bunch of dudes. We have like a Darth Maul looking guy here. See, one of the cooler things about when an illustrator illustrates like a crowd or fight scenes like this is who they work. And I remember there was an issue where like Rob Liefeld drew Alf. There was one of those comics. But anyway, it looks like that they're, someone's got the drop on them. Guy explodes. Girl's got the giant gun. Like I said, she's more than she leads on. That Drax jumps up with his swords because of movie. Great show of momentum and just like force here, where he jumps on the back of the skid, and it just like catapults the dude. I love it when people draw blasts like this. This just reminds me of early Ed McGuinness. But yeah. Then we have just like more of this, like more of the back and forth, more of like what you're doing. I'm not even sure, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't even read. I don't think I even read this issue. No, I didn't, because we end with Fing Fang Foom because, again, reference. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bailed at this. In this issue, like, I didn't care about the pit fight. Again, we got CM Punk's an MMA fighter now, so we gotta like self-insert there. Yeah, great design for this droid though. Like I said, like the drawing, the artwork, which is the penciling, the inking, the colorings there. It's just too much silly humor. Nothing serious. Drax is not doing anything we care about. He's just basically stuck on like a Star Wars like world, looking for components to put into his ship and fly off so he can go find Thanos and kill him. Not much of a plot, guys. So, Celebrity Comics, yay. AKA Patterns. That was a tough one, wasn't it? I hate just going through something and crapping on it. I really do. Unless if it's cartoons, fake, those guys can go scratch. But anyway, I would say when it comes to creating a comic, bad example. Coloring, illustration, fantastic example, and it's cheap. And I do like Hepburn's Scott Hepburn's work here. I just think he, again too, like I love I love what he does with Drax here, but it's not it's not a comic. It doesn't connect to anything. It doesn't bring the character to a point. It doesn't even establish who the character is, and that's always the important part where when you read any comic, when you're creating a comic, you have to pretend that the audience, us, is reading that character for the very first time. You have to do that. You have to spend the first few pages on that, and then you also have to, while you're doing that, this is a little bit of like the magic formula. You have to establish the power sets of the character relatively fast, and put that character into a plot relatively fast to retain the attention, and it's just not done here. CM Punk should have had 5 or 6 years of just working. He made enough money he could publish his own comic. I mean, we have people out there on Instagram and Facebook and Indiegogo publishing their own books with nothing, and getting more experience and getting more skin in the game than CM Punk ever attempted to do before getting a Marvel comic. And that's the real reason why this should be completely rejected. He didn't earn his stripes. They said the same thing with his MMA run, and I hate to say it, he proved a lot of his detractors right with his AEW run. He came in, lots of hype, lots of fanfare, and destroyed all that goodwill relatively fast. And that doesn't mean I'm not a CM Punk guy. The CM Punk John Cena kind of rivalry, or CM Punk, who was the big guy? The Feed Me More. Who is that? I forget that dude. If you remember the Feed Me More wrestler guy, please put that comment below. But no, I mean, CM, there was a time where I got into wrestling and CM Punk was the guy, and I loved his character, and I was heartbroken when he left WWE, but he, always a good foil, always a good corporate rival, a great voice for independent talent and ideas within wrestling. Bad for MMA, bad for comics. Sorry guys, Peter A. DeLuca here, TGIF, rock and roll.